Hey, Dr. Brett here. I'm back with my Thai wife, Chanakan.
Hey, I'm Shnaka.
How are you?
I have a sore throat.
Uh-oh, she's got a sore throat. So we're going to have to do something about that. We'll do a video and then we'll fix it.
Okay.
All right, cool. So this morning I had a couple clients. I like to bring up client material and I'd like to do it spontaneously. She has no clue what I'm about to bring up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple clients, both were struggling, both females, 133, 153, struggling with relationships with men where the guy isn't treating them well and they're stuck in it. One in particular was particularly, the male was particularly emotionally abusive, like loving on the one hand and then sort of rejecting on the other hand. And it's someone that I've worked with for a while, and I've been trying to teach her to walk away from a relationship that isn't healthy. And some people get stuck. They get into these ruts where it's hard to honor yourself and walk away from situations that don't feel right. What are your thoughts on that, babes?
They need to learn from the experience that if I always tell like someone that asks me this question, if it happened with you like for the first time, it's okay. The second time is okay, but the third time is too much. Like you need to count for 3 times. If it's not okay, you need to walk away from that situation. Like maybe it happened the first time, the second time it might like accident, something that he didn't mean it. But if it happened so many times, it's not his fault. It's your fault that you still accept that.
So exactly. So what's happening is that sometimes people stay stuck, and usually it's out of a combination of fear and habit, right?
Yeah, and they try to think, how can we change that guy, that person?
Exactly. And that's been one of the dynamics here, especially with the younger woman, is that she got confused in a relationship and kept trying to fix it and figure it out. And what I've been teaching her is that if the pattern continues and the male, in this case it's the male, sometimes it's the woman, isn't getting help, isn't getting guidance, isn't getting perspective, in other words, he's not growing. If he's not growing, in other words, he's unlikely to change no matter what you do on your end, unless you leave an emotionally abusive situation. And then that by actually leaving, you're teaching him indirectly and honoring yourself directly, but teaching him indirectly that that's not acceptable. The likelihood of him continuing this pattern with the next woman is high unless he gets some kind of guidance and help. But if you stay stuck as the woman, or sometimes it's the male, then all you do is gradually erode your own self-esteem the longer you stay in a situation that is emotionally abusive. In other words, not healthy, where you're being put down constantly, or you're being manipulated, or being turned on, right? Randomly sort of turned on. And that's what's occurring in this situation. Any thoughts on that?
I feel like sometimes people addict with hurt feeling.
Addicted to hurt feelings.
Like still sorry, like drama feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe, but they think it's like a love, but actually it's like a kind of their ego. That they think they can change something, but if it's bad for them, if it's too much, it's not.
Yeah, so that's a pretty healthy perspective in the sense that if it's too much and the person's not consistently working on it, in other words, they're blaming, right? Part of what gets people stuck is that some people are self-aware enough to know that they're not perfect, that they have issues too. But it's one thing to have issues, it's another thing to be in a dynamic where you're getting beat up emotionally. Right? That's totally unacceptable. And it's really important for people to learn how to truly honor themselves and leave situations, whether they're personal or business, that ultimately don't feel good and don't support the person we are and the person we want to become.
It means for what will you suggest for this situation?
In this situation, I've like requested that she leave the situation, and I just got a text today that said that she's out, that she's finally gonna like stand up for herself and leave. On the other side of this thing, she's gonna learn some very powerful lessons, you know, around like one of the things I've said to her from the beginning is that this guy doesn't sound, I haven't met him, but I can see the patterns of behavior. He didn't sound like an emotional adult. A blamer, to me, someone that does a lot of blame is a kid emotionally. And that this woman is really talented. She's very smart and personable and engaging and a little intense. Well, she's probably going to need a more emotionally sophisticated guy, a guy that can handle her intensity and her neediness and sometimes her need for control, because nobody's perfect and those are her dynamics, and yet can appreciate her passion and her spirit and her drive and her commitment and her love and all that other good stuff. And so ultimately we're looking for partners that support us and can handle our dark side, so to speak, and bring them up in a way that is supportive, not damaging.
Okay.
Okay? All right, next video. I'm Dr. Brett.
I'm Snagan.
Thank you.
Thank you.